Mr. Ackerman, the ranking member on the Subcommittee of Middle East and South Asia.
Thank you. Welcome, Madam Secretary. Always great to have you here. It's exceptional to me that sometimes you can't win for winning, and even with the unprecedented victories that you and the administration have had in the foreign policy area, some people continue to look at it, I guess I would call it the Goldilocks game with the three bears. The porridge is always too hot, or the porridge is always too cold. I think you got it just right. I think instead of Goldilocks, you're more like the guy on the Ed Sullivan Show who used to be up there with the 12 bowling pins, juggling them all at the same time, bouncing basketballs up and down over his knees, and has these sticks with the plates on top that he's twirling in the air, and nothing ever falls to the ground. And it's more difficult because you're really twirling somebody else's dirty dishes. But nonetheless, you seem to have everything pretty much together. I don't want to jinx it. With all of the unprecedented problems in the world that we're facing all at the same time. And I just want to thank you and congratulate you and the administration. Three areas: North Korea, Egypt, and Iran, hotspots. First on Egypt, congratulations, the announcement that we just received within the hour that the flight restrictions on the Americans has been lifted. I think that's miraculous. I know the great effort and work that you have put into this, both behind the scenes as well as publicly, and how delicate this negotiation has been. Does this indicate to us some sense of where the power shifting and shuffling in Egypt is going and who is exercising it, at least at this very sensitive moment, or don't we want to speculate on that?
Well, Congressman, we do not have confirmation that the travel ban has been lifted. We hope that it will be, and we will continue to work toward that. You know, the reporting is encouraging, but we have no confirmation.
Yeah, we always get stuff from the AP first, also, before we before we hear that. North Korea, congratulations on that as well. I know there is never any nexus between humanitarian aid and shifting policies, but congratulations on the great coincidence of the 240 metric tons of humanitarian aid, and it's happening coincidentally at the same time that the North Koreans have at least apparently agreed to a lot more transparency than they've had before in cessation of their nuclear program. Were other countries parties or observers at this bilateral discussion that we had with the North Koreans? Were the Russians or the Chinese or the South Koreans play any role, or was that just us?
Well, the meeting was held in Beijing. The Japanese and South Koreans were intimately involved in the back and forth of the negotiations. We also kept all of them informed, but no one else was a direct participant besides the United States and North Korea. In reading all the reports of that, it says that they will allow inspection at Yangpyeong. Do we have access to other sites? Or just that main site, or isn't that clear yet? That's not clear yet. I mean, that was our principal objective, and we obviously have to continue building on what was achieved.
Like some others that you deal with, you know more than others that they're masters at the shell game. And lastly, Iran. Congratulations on the biting effect that the sanctions are finally grabbing them and taking effect to a tremendous extent. There seems to be a lot of indication that some of our allies, one in particular in the Middle East, is very concerned and interested in us laying down markers rather than saying all options are on the table. And I suppose that's going to get more play in coming days. What are the red lines that the Iranians cannot cross? Are we going to make that public, or are we going to continue to do quiet negotiations on that?
I think it's probably smarter for us to be pressing on the sanctions and the negotiations while we keep our objective of no nuclear capability absolutely clear, instead of setting other benchmarks at this time publicly.
I want to thank you for not concentrating on strutting your stuff and delivering on the steak and not worrying about the sizzle. Thank you.
Thank you.